Thank you for tuning in. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be your host tonight. We're going to talk about Ashlee Janae momentarily. Everything is alleged, and for entertainment and educational purposes, the complete video will be on my page. Our page, your page, my page, everybody's page. But at any rate, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to talk about Ashlee Janae. First and foremost, she, freely you guys can sub to the channel. Thank you. But actually, I want to talk about Ashlee. She, I did a reading, but I think it was something with the audio. So I'm going to do just a quick video here. Um, you know, um, it was so much this and that surrounding her unfortunate timing situation. And my condolences to the family. Yeah, very much so. But I also want to say she asked me to help her. She was like, Miss, please help me. And I felt bad because I didn't know the complete story. And I don't even know where to start. It's just so much. And but first and foremost, I couldn't understand because like I said, I don't know of her before, and I had not followed the story. So I wanted to get like a ideal what is actually going on. So I went back and I looked at the situation when she was walking with her fiance with the tiger, the tan tiger, right? And I wanted to see what this tiger was thinking at this very moment. And my observation was that when the tiger, when actually, the undergoing of the whole situation when the tiger continued to walk off, and when Ashley Janae looked back to see that the tiger continued to walk, I looked at the tiger, and the tiger right there was um because animals are transparent, right? But also they're also spiritual beings as well. They do communicate. And he didn't really like the tiger. She basically, I got a lot of information from her, and she was letting Ashley know at that time. And I think Ashley was fully aware that her time was near. Okay, for sure. But it's just so crazy because they took her to Africa. I think that's over there somewhere, and there was a lot of jealousy going on. This Nubian woman with this Caucasian man here. There was a lot of resentment for that and a lot of rumors of him cheating. But I want to say that, after speaking to the spiritual realm, Ashley wanted to know this Carol. She does not appreciate what whoever Carol is doing. She basically saying you're a liar, and everything about her is okay. She don't like her approach to discussing her. People were like, where's the ring? The administrator took the ring. They could not do this at the first hotel because she was protected under divine powers there. And they knew this. So they had to relocate her to room 10, divine exodus. That's where they needed to do this at. There are so many people involved in this situation. So many people have answers that they need to be investigated upon. Like the administrator. Why is he holding her ring allegedly? And everything is for entertainment and educational purposes. Why is he holding her ring? Okay. Why? And will her fiance tell the truth about the debt? They was arguing because yeah, he was cheating with some brunette. He was cheating honestly with her. And will he take the fall for this? Was this arranged? How much involvement does this administrator has in this particular situation? Or his blueprint all over Ashley's body? Let's get the understand, because there's a lady of color that has passed away for her preference, the scientist. What is involvement? Ugh. the exploitation. You know, I thought you were in love with her. Why do you have her exploiting and selling her off to the highest bidder? Why? Millions of dollars are on the table. She said he was a heartless person. He was very educated, right? And but he had no emotion. So unfortunately, this is where we are. There's a big fight about money, millions of dollars, money, and I don't know how deep Ashlee was involved in this here, and what her temperament was like, and the things that she said. But there was a lot of she claimed that her torso was injured. Her arm was injured, and man, I don't know, but she talked about the captain, smelly, dirty. I just want to know, and I don't want to know, did he actually violate this lady? You know, there was a hit called This Was a Ritual, allegedly, and it was about money, everything. I think her fiance is like a lot more in this situation that is going on. He has a lot of business that he's doing in that country, and a lot of new technologies and adventures that he's trying to get himself involved in and try to get this off the ground for himself. Ashley was involved in some things, and I don't know her before, but she wants the help of the public. She wants her murder not to go unsolved, and it's just an unfortunate situation. I don't know who is this administrator she's talking about, but because some spirits are confused and some are not. But she's saying um, the administrator took her life. Hate crime. They took Ashley's ring because they felt that her fiance cheated them on something. Um, so they took her ring for collateral. But she's constantly saying she loved this man and she was committed. But like, I don't understand. You know, she was very much in love with him. In fact, he was her king. That's how she felt. And yeah. But there was a plan set in motion from the moment she arrived there, and it's like it was just finding the perfect location to commit the crime. Two locations, two hospitals. She just had to find a spot because they felt like they could get away with this without any questions, and someone took her out at the hospital, the final hospital, and there's a woman involved in this, and it's just and then her son, she said that this person went to the room with a balloon, and I don't know what was in the balloon, and shortly after, Ashley is no longer available to this realm. So her body was left and her soul traveled beyond, and she loved this man, and she want to be remembered that she loved. So it's almost remind me of the story of Beauty and the Beast. She was targeted and brutally assassinated. Like they're talking about the basement. Did they do all this in the basement, then took her body back to her room? She keeps saying the searcher, and all of these things. She was abducted. She left that room wondering because she was in distress. She was very dispirited from the arguments, the cheating, and finding out all these things that she knew once she arrived there. She was very dispirited and she felt alone and isolated. And females and ladies and stuff, when you guys just leave. Get on a plane, just leave. You don't have to be like curiosity, just leave those situations. They were fighting because she found out that she talked about the casino a lot, and he had been cheating and with a brunette woman, and you guys said that she left the room, he left her, but he was taking care of business, doing whatever, that stuff that he has going on over there. And yeah, some new contracts that he was working on, allegedly, and for entertainment and educational purposes. I don't want to put I just want to let you know what the spirit realm has said to me, and she want you guys to continue to pursue justice for her, and to put pressure on this situation. In the first reading, she said he did it, and I jumped down and looked at some videos, but I'm just gonna go with what she said and the information I got from the lioness, because when she swung that tail and she hit the ground with her paw and did that dip, that was an indication right there. You can go back and slow it down and watch animals communicate. And being that Ashlee is a woman, she knows what's going on, but her reaction to it, I guess, disbelief. But yeah, so it's a lot going on. But thank you for tuning in, and like us up to the channel, and we just want to our condolences over here for her family and all. And she was talking about this mirror where her treasures, her wealth is, and some boxes. I don't know, like it, because I don't know Ashlee. I don't know where she been and how far she's gone. But she's talking about abroad, or she's in whichever state that she has these boxes by the mirror. She said her wealth is there. So I don't know if she's hiding something, or something of value that is there. You know, I am totally going to sign out. This is a spiritual. I'm just doing a spiritual reading on Ashlee. So, and what she's telling me there, um, but everything thus far is true. I'm so sorry that this has happened to her, but ladies, be careful who you put in your bedroom. They may not always have your best interest at heart. She's talking about her foot and stuff. She went a lot of places. She talked about a flight, the captain, and she talked about being on a boat. She did a lot of traveling, and I don't know what the he was all about, but my situation is, and my stance to this, like, I don't like the hours. You guys, somebody said that he was missing her fiance for 11 hours, and I asked her why. I asked the spiritual realm why. They said because he was being pressured by law enforcement to give accountability as to his whereabouts. That's why he were not able to contact and the family at that moment. So she also talked about Cliff and his retirement. There's a lot of information, and I don't know why Cliff got shot. I don't know any of these people that she's telling me about. Okay, I want to close this reading out, but thank you guys for tuning in. God bless everyone. So like and sub to the channel. Until next time. Thank you. God bless everyone.